What's up? We got a Toyota Sienna over here. This lady, she kind of begged me to just do her brake pads. I really want to do it, but then I decided to do it because I'm not gonna do. Usually, I want to do pads on rotors together, so I don't want to do a shit job. But I'm not gonna do a shit job anyway because I'm gonna make the best out of the brake pads. So we want to got some brake pads for her. The brake pads are down to nothing. So this is the 09 Sienna. There's a brake pad. We're using Evolutions. Inside this box, you're gonna have. There's no hardware. Sometimes people take shits from the parts, but we waited about an hour for this piece, so I guess we'll discount her a little bit. But no hardware inside this box. Anyways, that's fine. Sometimes I don't use all the hardware. I leave it alone because the original one looks good. So we got 4 brake pads here. So this brake pad is gonna go on the inside. I want to use this sensor in the bottom on the inside. So I want to use this brake pad. The other two look the same. I will leave these two for the other side. So you're not gonna see me do the other side because I'm gonna just show and tell everything here. So we're gonna make the best out of this job. So very simple and easy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the 2 bolts behind the caliper. That's this little guy right here, 14 millimeter, and her brakes are squeezing, well, the sensors touching here and there, so she's not happy with that. Let's move the camera a little bit back. So it's only 2 bolts in the back, and this baby comes right off just like that, and then your caliper comes off. So over here, her caliper looks pretty good. So we do have a wire brush sitting here. So I like to wire brush just the edge of this caliper. It's a soft wire, so nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna damage the boot. And this is just a dust boot, okay? So we're gonna leave that to the side. Next, we take off the brake pad. Pretty good brake pads, and I did this job a long time ago for her. So over time, this will dry up. So there you go. So since we're not changing hardware, I do want to clean this guy off pretty well and make it nice and good. Sometimes this corrosion from the rotor. Well, be careful with this brake dust, so use a mask. So I'm gonna go get a cleaner and we're gonna spray some cleaner on this. Very important you clean this stuff, okay? If you can replace the hardware, that's even better. Let's spray this down. It's gonna take seconds for it to dry out. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go get some grease. So I got a video on this grease. So we got silicone grease and we got regular high temperature brake grease. That's what I'm gonna be using. So every time I use a grease, I will mention which one I'm using. So what we're doing first is I want to pull out these slider pins, okay? One, I like to clean these off and put it to the side. And the second slider pin, okay? They both look the same. None of them has a rubber boot. Clean them off really well. So this is where we're gonna use our silicone grease, okay? This is the grease that looks something like that. I'm gonna have to the very bottom of our bottle here. We're gonna submerge it out of there. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take tiny bit amount and we're gonna put a tiny amount on our slider pin. That's all you need, tiny bit amount, just a small coating, okay? Try not to get nothing on the tip, and stick this baby back in, and your rubber boot should grab onto that really well. And then the second one here, 1 2 3, all around, same grease. The rubber boot has to come and grip up here, okay? So let's put this baby right here. You don't have to be super duper perfect at the job, you know. Doing a good job for her because I want it. So the next step is you want to take your brake pads. You want to try them on first, okay? You see how the brake pads go in nice and easy. If they don't, you want to file the edges, okay? So both of these brake pads should be nice and easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of greasing here, a little bit of greasing on the tip here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, and then I'm gonna clean my finger off with the rag. So remember, the brake pad with the sensor on the inside, in the bottom, the sensor has to be in the bottom. So this baby goes on the same way on the inside and outside. And this little guy, some of this hardware might give you trouble. What you don't want to do is you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to bang and push this hardware, the pads in like crazy, okay? So that means you need to file them. So these went in pretty good, but my the clip here hardware is bothering me here. So I'm gonna take out this brake pad, retry it one more time, but different angle. Okay, it's bothering me on the back end. So once I get this guy in, I will retry and retry till we get it in. Okay, one more time. There you go. And I feel like it went in too rough. You don't want it, I'm using the flathead, but I'm going flush to it. You don't want to put a hole into the pad. Let's go to the edge here. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to file this little guy. Don't like how that went. But remember how I said, make sure you try on the pads first, because now I gotta clean the greasing off. So let me go get it filed. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to file the tip here, the edge here, and file the edge here. Usually it's just the paint a little bit that bothers you, so try to get the surfaces that's touching in there. Same thing, only on one side, because remember my brake pad goes in pretty well, just a little bit tighter than normal. Let's give it another temp. If I was able to take off this hardware, I would have just done this job differently, because I would have cleaned out everything inside. There you go. You see how easy it is to move over this baby's around? That's how it should be. The brake pad should be able to come out of the way on its own. All right, so I'm gonna bring up the camera a little bit, because it's time for us to compress that piston. So you could use a C-clamp. You could do this, compress this piston while it's in there. Put your screwdriver right from the back or pry bar. Usually you gotta put a brake pad in there, but since I got this compress tool here, it's much easier for me to compress this baby. So I'm not done yet with greasing. So what I want to do here is greasing on the brake pad on the outer edge here. Very important. On the outer edge, on the inner brake pad, nothing that becomes contact with the pad and rotor. And what I want to do is put some greasing on this little guy. And right here, bada bing, bada boom. Like I said, I'm not gonna leave this lady with a bad brake job. So very simple and easy. By bad brake job, I mean like a lame job. So let's bring our camera a little bit this way so you all can see. So you probably have to push these slider pins in manually to get this. Same thing in the bottom here. And you're all done. Bada bing, bada boom. Put the two bolts on, and we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Spin the rotor, take it for a spin. Once you're done, make sure you pump the brake pedal before you start the car. Once both sides are done, you got the wheels on, make sure you pump the brake pedal, because the piston needs to retract back to its original spot. And if you don't do that and you start the car and you put the car to drive, it's gonna keep going. You're not gonna have no brakes. And you're not gonna be, I believe I've done that several times as a mechanic. Okay, nice and tight. And let's finish this out. Nice and tight. Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and stay tuned for more videos. See you guys on the next one. Bye bye.